My wife tried to choke me in my sleep and threatens to kill me. Last night after drinking, my partner woke me up in the middle of the night by choking me. She had my arms pinned down by her knees and held both hands around my throat, seriously squeezing hard. I had to free my arms and loosen her grip to breathe. She tried again later with a pillow and with a headlock. She asked me if I wanted to be murdered. I said no. She said, well, too bad, don't fall asleep. She has also threatened me with a knife before, thrown sharp objects that hit my eye and face, and cut my skin with her nails. She hits me all the time in face and groin. I have been bruised all over. I never know when to expect it because she acts normal until she does it. I never fight back or resist because I'm scared she will use it against me. When I try to record with video, she stops and pretends like she is hurt. What do? We have a kid together and it's only escalating. I called her parents a couple years ago after the knife incident and they told me to be more careful not to make her angry. Every time she hurts me, it's always my fault for making her angry. After hurting me, she tends to be very loving and affectionate. It hurts my brain. I tried telling my own mom and grandma, they want me to put up with it for the kid. No one cares what's happening to me and I feel so alone. Doctor, my wife choked me last night in my sleep and threatened to kill me. I don't feel safe. I still like the good side of her and want her to get better, but she's getting worse. Now for the top comments. I see people saying call the police. I hate to be a pessimist, but if she is already acting like you hurt her when you start recording, I am not sure how that would work for you, especially since it seems like no one in your life is on your side. A few things you can do. Document the abuse. While you might not be able to record the acts, make sure you get pictures and videos of the aftermath. If she forcibly penetrates you again, go to the hospital to get that reported. I am sure they can check that area for tears, inflammation, irritation, etc. that would indicate forcible penetration, and they can note this, so that way you have a record of that. Also go to the hospital for injuries so those can be recorded as well. If you're not financially able to go for every scratch or bruise, certainly go for deeper ones, bruises on the ribs and head, as those are 3 danger zones for injuries. Look into small cameras that you can place in common areas like the kitchen, living room, hallways, and dining room. Depending on the laws where you live, you might not be required by law to tell anyone about these cameras due to their location, and this way you can have video evidence. Seek out a lawyer, explain to them what is going on, the abuse, the acting, the fears you have, and see what they suggest. I had 2 friends who were dating. The girl was blatantly abusive and also manipulative like your wife. I watched her hit her boyfriend, slam him against the door, and the only time he did anything was when he gently pushed her away so he could leave after repeatedly and calmly saying, please stop, please don't touch me, please let me go, please let me leave. I watched his arms, and being a scrawny thing I would have seen his muscles tense if he had put any force into it. I watch her legs bend and push, to throw herself back and onto the floor. I watched her look up at him, watch him keep gathering his things, both silent. I watched her hop right back up and try to stop him again, trying to hold the door closed. After I kept her away from the door and he left, she went from looking like she was about to literally explode, to suddenly gripping at her hip and arm that hit the ground and acting like it was the worst pain imaginable. I later told the guy to let me know if he needs me to come to court because I was a witness and saw her being the aggressor and abuser. He never called me. She framed him as the devil incarnate, and now he can't see his kid at all unless she lets him, which she only does rarely and usually only if it is to her benefit. Things can go real bad, real fast, and you need to do everything you can to make sure that the truth is seen by the courts and you get out. Next comment. I think your best course is to leave her and try to get full custody of your child, based on your wife's unstable and violent behavior. You definitely shouldn't have to live with this. And leaving him to be raised by her is scary also. Go see a family law attorney, and start documenting, somewhere she can't possibly find it, the things she has done, as they occur, with dates and details. This latest action of hers is terrifying, along with her statement about murder. If you were primarily concerned about her, she obviously needs psychological help, but might be beyond helping. There is no benefit to staying with a violent person. Save yourself and your child. Next comment. Your wife rapes you as a punishment, on top of all the abuse and attempts at literal murder. You need to get yourself and your kid out of there, file for divorce and a restraining order. Protect yourself and your kid. Because, who's to say she won't do the same to your kid? You should never, and I mean never, stay in a relationship for the kid's sake. Kids pick up on things very quick, they know when things aren't right. Depending on if you live in a one-party consent state, you might want to check that. Start the voice recorder on your phone and put your phone in your pocket, so she doesn't know that you're recording her. Take photos of all your injuries and check your kid for any injuries. Get yourself and your kid to the doctors. Get a lawyer and send all of your evidence to them. Next comment. This is not going to go away. I think you've been abused for so long and been gaslit by others for so long you believe you're helpless and that her abuse is somehow your responsibility. It is not. You are in serious danger. Think about what's healthy for your child, that they grow up without a father because he was murdered by their own mother. Growing up witnessing and normalizing fatal or near-fatal abuse. You are emotionally harming your child by staying. You need to start documenting what she's doing in secret so you can build a case against her. I think talking to a therapist or someone who will actually believe and encourage you is paramount to rebuilding your self-esteem so you can finally take action. Please do so before things escalate even more. The well-being of you and your child depend on it. Next comment. Dude, WTF. You've been in this relationship for a long time, so you might be numb/a little blind to these things, but this is absolutely nuts. Get yourself out of that relationship ASAP. Get your kids with you. This is physical violence, a clear limit where everyone should draw the line, whereas with emotional abuse the line might be a little blurred. Her parents' advice is absolutely ridiculous. Don't anger her? How about the fault being on her side? It's not you. Obviously I know nothing about her situation and wish nothing bad for her, but this situation is horrible for you. As hard as it might be, get out. This really isn't even one you should think about. Take the kids, and get out. Period. Next comment. This is horrifying. I've been where you are and you're in extreme danger. Strangulation is one of the biggest signs that DV is going to escalate to murder. My partner started choking me and shortly after tried and almost succeeding in killing me, multiple times. Please start keeping pictures and dates of the incidents/injuries. Look for resources in your area that help abuse victims, anyone you can find and trust to help. Don't let anyone make you doubt what's happening. This is very dangerous. I know leaving is far easier said than done, but please at least consider meeting with some victim advocates or setting up a loose plan of how you can get out. Next comment. Take her threats seriously. You are not safe in this situation. Get cameras in your house, get these attempts on record so you have something in court. You need to leave this woman, because for the sake of both you and your child, you need to get out. Neither of you are safe. She is manipulative, and abusive, and based on what you said and other comments, she raped you as a punishment. She gave you scars. Document your bruises, document everything that happens and be prepared to fight for your life in court. If not for you, for your child, because she might turn this on your child. Please, please, document what's happening to you and get you and your child to safety. Next comment. No dude, no. This is serious abuse. You need to leave and divorce and get at least part-time custody. If you really can't get any evidence of the abuse, it sucks and there's not much you can do about it. But you need to leave and never meet her alone again. Spousal abuse is serious and you sound like you need therapy. She has a lot to fix as well, but that is unfortunately not something you can force her to do. This situation is a lot like a new friend of my mother's. But that man even abused her kids, and even with their witness statement he still never faced any jail time or fines. Anyway, please think of yourself. And take care. Next comment. Wow, looking at your post history, you are and have been dealing with a lot. I definitely recommend you find a safe place ASAP. Your gut is right, you're not safe. You're being abused and the abuse likely will not stop. I honestly cannot imagine the fear and panic you experienced while waking up to your wife on top of you, pinning your arms down with her hand firmly around your windpipe. Just picturing it is terrifying. Get out now. You should consider reporting the abuse to the police. Next comment. Women's domestic abuse shelters also take men. Please call your local women's domestic abuse shelters and ask them for a room at a safe house where you can take your child. They will help you press charges against your wife for rape and abuse. They will hide you. They will help you relocate to another city. They will assist you with legal aid to divorce this crazy bitch and keep her away from you and your child. Start hiding your birth certificate, SS card, and your baby's birth certificate and SS card. Secure any other important paperwork you may need, including her journal or any evidence of her abuse. Please save yourself and your child. You deserve better. Next comment. Don't listen to the comments blaming you for staying. This is not your fault. The best time to leave is always now. It's going to be hard, definitely, but it will be worth it because you will know you and your son are safe. Another commenter referred you to the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. That's better advice than any of us can give because they will have more details on how to get out, who to contact, and how to document your abuse. Please let us know when you make your way to somewhere safe with your son. Next comment. Speaking as someone who has been in an abusive relationship as a man, you need to get out now. Your wife is dangerously unstable and abusive. Please do not listen to the people in the comments telling you to record the next time you are assaulted. If this continues, she is going to keep escalating until she kills you. Every second you stay is another second that you are unsafe, and another second that your child learns that this is an appropriate way to treat your partner. The good things you see in her are a combination of her manipulating you and you not wanting to believe the situation you are in. Please get out now. Next comment. Just to back up a lot of the comments on here. Get whatever evidence you can and then walk into a police station and report it. Make it very clear that you also have a child who could be at risk. What you are enduring is awful and potentially very dangerous for you and your child. You need to be able to get away from her with no chance of ever having to go back. You can't live your life wondering when you will be assaulted next or worse. Next comment. My good man, please do what it right and immediately take your child and flee your house. You need to go somewhere safe with your child, report this abuse and never look back. You are worth it. You are loved by humanity. You can survive. I believe in you. Please leave your wife.